Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kyra, and here on this channel we're all about real makeup for real life and real people. So today is another Shop My Stash, but this is going to be a very different Shop My Stash video, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. But first, if you're a new visitor to my channel, I want to say welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave today, if you like what you see, of course, and then you'll be able to find my videos more easily on Tuesday and Thursday when I upload, and then I will get back to uploading 3 videos a week come the end of summer. So here's the deal. Last month I pulled all 4 of my ABH Norvina collection volumes 1 through 4. I didn't use them at all. I mean, I did, but not nearly as much as I had planned. And partially, I think there was a lot of days where I didn't even wear makeup at all. There was an entire week where it was over 100 degrees and our air conditioner was broke. There wasn't any way any one of you could have convinced me to put makeup on my face during that week. But beyond all of that, I just feel like I need to take a summer vacation through my stash, if that makes sense. Sort of deviate from any kind of direction with my Shop My Stash and just use things one at a time, basically. So this is what it's going to look like this month. Other than my Project Pan products, every product in my collection is up for grab, but I can only use each product once. The other thing that I want to concentrate on this month, or sort of an underlying goal for this month, is just to start using some of the products in my collection that I haven't used at all. What business do I have buying more makeup when I have makeup in my collection that I've never even put on my face? I have products in my collection that I've only used once, maybe in a video or trying it on my own, and then couldn't work it into my schedule after that. So that's kind of what I'm going to do this month. I was inspired to do this by my girl Angela from Beauty and Life with Angela. I will link her down below. She did this 1 month for Shop My Stash as a little experiment to work through her collection product by product and just discover her collection. And that's kind of what I want to do here today. However, I know you guys like to dig into my makeup storage over here in these videos, so I am going to take you through a few drawers, show you some of the products that I have yet to use in my collection, and maybe you guys can leave me some comments down below on what you might like to see used from my collection or things like that. So with all of that said, let's go look in the drawers and see what I have that I haven't used yet. Okay, so here we are in my foundation drawer. I will say there are a couple in here that I've only used once or twice that I would like to make use of this month again. I have not used my mix to match shade adjuster from e.l.f. I think this is the bronze shade, although it doesn't say on here. So maybe get some use out of that this month. The other thing I've only used, I think twice, is this ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I don't like the way it looks on my skin, so I might try mixing this with something else I do like. I know I did want to try it with the tinted moisturizer in the same line. So there's that. Okay, I don't have any primers that I haven't tried or used, so we're moving on to the concealer drawer. There are a few in here that I haven't used very much. I have this Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer from Too Faced. I still need to find a way that I like this. My Milk Makeup Flex Concealer I haven't used in a while, and I only used it a few times. Definitely could stand to work with my Pat McGrath concealer a little more. I do have this Josie Maran Vibrancy Concealer I'd like to try out this month. So maybe I'll pull this out on top here. Revealer Concealer is new, but I did have it in Shop My Stash last month. I also feel like I should work with this Oma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer a little bit more. And other than that, I think we're good. Here we are in the powder drawer. I have a couple of new ones. The one that I have the least amount of use on of my new ones is the Dior Backstage powder, no powder, and I do want to form some more opinions on this, so I'll definitely pull that in this month. But other than that, the only one that needs a little more use on is the Tatcha, the silk powder. I just hard pressed to ever reach for it because it's like literally got shimmer in it, and I don't think it's very good for my oily skin, but who knows. I just know that I will for sure pull in the Dior powder at some point this month. Next is the bronzers, and I do have a couple in here that I really haven't used. One of them is the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer. I have mine in the shade In the Sun. That's one. I really haven't gotten much use out of this Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunset Striptease, but it's a really pretty color and I like the formula on this one. So I'd like to pull that in at some point this month. I also would like to play more with this LYS Beauty No Limits Matte Bronzer. I picked up the shade Medium. I really liked this upon my first impressions, so I want to play with this one again this month. Such odd shape packaging. It's so hard to store. Another one I haven't used much because I got this at the end of last summer is the Tower 28 Bronzino. I have the shade West Coast. This is very shimmery and so I'd like to try this out maybe over my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand I'm working on panning, something like that. And then brand spanking new to my collection is the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt. I got the shade She's Sculpted. So I have this cream shade under here and then the bronzer. Definitely want to play with this month. One I don't reach for too often, but I remember really liking is this one from Wet n Wild. It's their Mega Glow Makeup Stick Contour in the shade Where's Walnut. Like to use that this month. Maybe try out the Rare Beauty foundation that I got in a darker shade as a bronzer, and also would like to pull out my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Matte Bronzer. I believe I got this shade Medium, 2 Medium, yes, and get some use out of this because I've been wanting to, but I just haven't had the time or the video to do so. All right, next is a highlighter. One that I want to try again is the Revlon Skin Light Prismatic Highlighter. So many people really like this one. I felt like it was kind of glittery and maybe emphasized texture in my skin, but I want to try it again and maybe try it in a different way, different application, and see if I can't make it work. Another one I haven't gotten much use out of is this one from Revolution. This is the highlighter Reloaded in the shade Just My Type. If it's not too light for me, I want to get some use on that. Another beautiful drugstore highlighter is the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Rose Gold Molten. Used this only a few times, but I would love to try it again. And then the other thing I would like to try again this month is this ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hydrating Illuminator in the shade Soft Gold. I've tried this once or twice, but just didn't really like the application that I used. So I'm going to try this again this month, and I think that's it in the highlighter drawer. Alright, powder blush, here we go. There's definitely a few things in here This shade of the Milani Powder Blush in Tea Rose I got from my girl Angela and have not used yet. That's a really pretty color and definitely a good one for summer. I also have not used my e.l.f. Primer Infused Shimmer Blush in the shade Always Hazy very much, so I'd like to use that one. Another blush I don't think I've put on my face yet is the Essence The Blush in the shade Befitting. Such a pretty color and definitely right up my alley, so I'm going to use that. And then the other thing I would like to dip into this month would be this Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette from Juvia's Place. I'd like to use at least each of these once this month. So I won't just use the palette once, I'll use each blush once, if that makes sense. Cream blush, however, I have quite a few that I have not used. I've only used this NARS liquid blush in Dulce Vita once. I have not, maybe I've only used this once or tried it on. This is the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Happy. I have not used this shade of the Juicy Pang Water Blusher yet. This is the shade VL03. Pretty, full tone, all that good stuff. I have only used this Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Confident once, but holy moly, is it a beautiful shade. So I'd like to use that again. Also would like to use this McQueen Cushion Tint Lip and Cheek in the shade, I think the shade is Nude Coral, I can't remember, but I want to try that again. What else? Oh yeah, these two. I have two e.l.f. Putty Blushes. I have Bali and, what is this, Turks and Cacaos or something like that. And I haven't used either of these, I don't think, so I need to work with those. I would also like to play with this again. This is the NARS Air Matte Lip Color in the shade Joyride, but I like this for cream blush. So I think that is that. Oh, I also have not worn the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Nectar, so I'd like to try that. And then lastly, but certainly not leastly, in this set of drawers are my face palettes, and we have a lot of work to do in this drawer. First and foremost, I spent my June budget on the Salt New York cream products. I filled up this mini palette, and I have used these, but I have not used them very much. So I'd like to get to know these better this month. I have not tried this Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette at all. So I'd like to try each of these this month. Also new to my collection is this NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette. Hate the name, love the products inside, but there are a few shades I haven't tried yet. So I definitely want to use that one more. And I think that is it. Alright, so here we are in my small palette drawer slash drugstore palettes, that kind of thing. And I wanted to show you a couple of the palettes that I have not used yet. First of all, I got this ColourPop Melt For You palette from a friend and subscriber, and I've not put this on my eyeballs yet, so I want to try that. I also have not used my Making Mauves palette from ColourPop yet. I have swatched it multiple times. I just haven't used the palette on my eyeballs, so I definitely would like to use that this month. Another palette that I haven't used and have had in my collection for quite a long time is this Winky Lux Cashmere Kitten palette. It's so cute, and I do like the colors in it. For some reason, I just haven't put them on my eyeballs. I've only swatched them, so it would definitely be a goal to use that this month. In my palette drawer, one that I have not used yet is the Ace Beauté Vintage Dawn palette. Got this one from my girl Angela. I believe she got it in BoxyCharm or some such thing. and she didn't care for it. It wasn't her jam, wasn't reaching for it. I said I'd really like to try it, so here it is. I've had it for some time and still haven't used it, so hopefully this month is the month. Another palette I haven't used yet is this Urban Decay Naked Honey. I know, what a dirty rotten shame. I got this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty and have yet to put it on my eyeballs, so I will definitely be trying out this palette this month. Another palette I have yet to use is this one from Juvia's Place. It is this Saharan palette, and I cannot wait to play with this. Another palette from Juvia's Place that I have not really used yet is this one. This is the Nomad palette. I do believe this is possibly discontinued, but I do want to try and make a really cool summer look out of this one. Another palette that's new to my collection, it was a gift from a subscriber, is this one from Aether Beauty. It is the Rose Quartz Crystal Gemstone palette. I have only done one look with this palette, but yikes. But I really enjoyed it and I want to play with this some more, so look out for a look with this month. I also wanted to mention this KKW palette. This is the This is the Classic Blossom palette from KKW. Really pretty palette. I did multiple looks with it and haven't touched it since. So I'd like to try and create a summer look with this. I'm seeing like these two for a look or something like that. Just kind of want to dive into some things I haven't touched in a long time. And then another palette, I don't think I've used this one on my channel, though I've had it for a long time, is the MAC Art Library Nude Model palette. Really pretty, but something that just kind of falls by the wayside, so to speak, and doesn't get used. But I definitely would like to use this month. And I think that's it for palettes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little dive into my makeup storage and seeing some of the products that I either haven't used much or at all. And I hope you guys will look forward to seeing those products throughout my various videos this month. As I always do, I will have those products in every video listed in the description box. So if you're ever curious on what I'm wearing or you like something that you see, a look, etc., just check down in the description box below and it will be listed for you there. And with all of that said, thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, you could give it a thumbs up for me. It always really helps me out, and subscribe if you haven't already. And with all that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I'll see you in my next video real soon.